Welcome to Strong and Steady, where we talk about building strength, supporting your health, and choosing sustainable wellness for women in every season of life.
And I'm Brittany. I'm here with my co-host, Jessica. She's a mom of 4 littles with such a grounded, realistic approach to balance for low-tox living. She helps busy moms build healthy habits that actually work in real life without perfection or overwhelm.
And I'm Jessica, here with Brittany, a woman's health and fitness coach who specializes in elite aging. She helps women build strong bones and muscles so they can live their whole lives to the fullest with confidence, strength, and independence.
And together, we have over 2 decades specializing in the health and fitness industry. So whether you're in the thick of young motherhood
or focused on staying strong for the long run,
we are so glad you're here.
Hey, welcome back. It's me, it's Jessica, and we are going to do just one of our lock-in episodes. There's a couple of things I forgot to mention on our last episode, the potty training one. If you haven't listened to that yet, I suggest stop, go listen to that, and then jump back on here. But yeah, just a few things I forgot to mention, some kind of popular questions, some questions y'all have asked as well. And so this will be short and quick, but just a couple more things I had to share with you. So one of the popular questions I hear a lot, especially like when I was starting out, was, can I do this even if my kid is in daycare? And the answer is yes. So with elimination communication, what the kids learn who to kind of do it with. And so you are able to do it part-time when you're home, whether you're home on weekends, whether you work, 2 or 3 days a week, or you're home half days, whatever it is, you can do this in the time that you are with the kid. And that was one thing I loved about it, is it wasn't an all or nothing approach. We were able to start slow. We could do it sometimes. Sometimes, we missed it and I didn't catch a sign, and that's okay. It wasn't anything to beat myself up over. But especially in those early days, as we were starting out, it took that pressure off of, oh, I have to have this, I have to potty train my kid in 3 days, or, oh, I have to potty train them in a week. And it just really took that pressure off. And so yes, you can do it even if your kid's in daycare. Some daycares, it depends on your daycare, their policies and stuff. If you have an at-home, an in-home daycare, they may be a little more lenient to say, yeah, we'll help out where we can. But again, some of them have policies and different things. But the kid learns, okay, I can, signal this, and my mom knows. Dad too, if he's there or active. I know for us, my husband works a lot and I was the one home with the kids, so I was able to pick up on the signals more because I was around the kids all day. And so, but I would talk through it with him as well. And that's kind of the other thing, is if you're able to have a village, whether it's a large one or a smaller one, just having people, even if they're not actively helping you potty train, if you have a friend or someone, you can just message, be like, oh my goodness, celebrate the wins with them. My kid just pooped on the potty. Or just oh my goodness, we're 5 accidents in and I'm struggling today. Or I missed it 5 times, whatever it is. Just having that village you're able to talk to connect with. And if you do have people around, we were fortunate. We have our grandparents around, or the kids' grandparents around. And so they were, when we were at their house, they were open to helping us take the kids potty and kind of learning the kids' signs and different things like that. Also with that, I know I talked a lot about teaching the kids signs. My son, we taught him to grunt. Lost my train of thought. Took me a moment. Got it back. So I talked about teaching the signs. The other thing we did was just learning their timing. So with our oldest, he just did not go to the bathroom often. So I think when we started it, I would take him about every hour or so, and he just by the time like he was learning, this was when he was a little older. He was over 1, close to a year and a half, I believe. I would take him like every hour and he just would not go. He would not need to go. And he was one, it was every couple hours before he went. And then with our second, as we were like starting to take his diaper off and move into the underwear, he was one who was more like every half an hour he needed to go. And so why we did teach the signs, that was just another thing we started looking for was their timing and how often they needed to go. Um and so like with our second, because I knew he was roughly within half an hour, 45 minutes. So there were times I set like timers on my phone, on Alexa, um, and I would communicate to them as well. I'd say like, "Hey, in 30 minutes we're going to go to the bathroom." And so timer went off, we would take them. Um, if he didn't go, then I'd say, "Hey, we're going to try again in 5 minutes," and I would start a timer. Um, I know that 5-minute one, like I did have the timer. I didn't always have the timer, the 30-minute timer. Just kind of depended on depended on the day. Um, Another thing was so there's the naked potty training. And I did it some, at least with our boys. And so the idea behind that is a day when you're home, or a couple days when you're home, is letting them run around without any underwear, no diaper, no shorts, like nothing, just butt naked, letting them go around and you're watching for their cues. And you see, like, once they start to pee, you take them potty, whether it's the big potty or by kid number 3, we kept the little, like, travel potty. I just kind of followed her around the house because I knew between her and our second one, he was potty trained, but he still needed help. So between the two of them, there was many times they both decided they needed to go at the same time. So that one kind of followed her around. And so if I notice they start to go, I stick them on. Um, with that too, I think I mentioned it last week, but in case I didn't, there were times where, they did have their clothes on and they would start to pee in their clothes, and I would just take them and stick them on the potty that way. Like their clothes were already wet. Um, so I just let them finish like peeing through their clothes. Um, and so yeah, timing. Oh, the naked one. With that, what like I learned through some reading and maybe the podcast. I don't know. Um, but you don't want to do naked potty training too long. So, and I've heard it often as well, is, oh, my kid is really good. They're potty trained when they're naked, but as soon as I try to put clothes on them, they just have accidents all the time. And so, what I read was you don't want to do naked training longer than 3 days. Otherwise, when you start adding the clothes in, it is almost like a restart of potty training. I forget kind of all the science or technical stuff behind it, but that was kind of the suggestion is don't do it really any longer than 3 days. Otherwise, you are going to run into that problem that when you start adding clothes on, you're going to essentially retrain them. Um, Also, after naked, those couple days naked, what you can do is do like some loose, like basketball shorts. Girls, you can do like dresses or like a skirt. Something where like that part is covered, but it's not as tight as like underwear or boxers yet. And so that kind of helps with the transition for some kids as well. I found for really my oldest, and then I just didn't do it after that, is because with him, we tried the training pants. So our oldest was cloth diapered during the day. We did disposables at night. And I have seen that too. Some say like that help with the transition to potty training because the cloth diapers, they feel the wetness more, so they are more aware of it. Um, and so I think part of that too was when we did the cloth or the training underwear, then it felt a lot like his cloth diaper that it had no effect on him. He'd pee, it'd run down his legs. Like it, it, it caused more trouble than it was helpful. And so we pretty much stopped using the training pants. I, like, save them for those times where we did have accidents and we just needed backup underwear. But same with our second, like, I think I maybe put him in it for a couple days, but all in all, we rarely used the training pants because it did not seem to help kind of in the transition. Another thing I realized with my boys is just underwear, like boys' underwear. I think it was the same thing. I think it felt too much like a diaper for them. And so when we used boxers, which by the way, if you're looking for boxers in like 18 months to 2T, they are out there, but they are pretty hard to find. If I can find them again, I will link it in the show notes for you, but they can be hard to find. But yeah, so using like the boxers instead of underwear seemed to help them kind of make the transition a lot faster. And then another one I wanted to mention was nighttime. So you can absolutely nighttime potty train. Um, I personally chose not to. Like I said, we had 3 under 3. Nighttime was not my priority. My priority at nighttime was sleep. And so that is one that I did wait for them. Um, all of our kids were about 3.5 before they kind of ditched the diapers overnight or pull-ups overnight. But you can, I know people who have done it overnight, you can train them, and for them, a lot they would, like, say before they go to bed, say 11 o'clock at night. Well, obviously, kid goes to the bathroom before they go to bed, and then before the parent goes to bed at, like, 11 o'clock, they would go in and, like, half wake the kid up, sit them on the potty. Generally, the kid's still half asleep. Um, they get the kid, like, to pee on the potty and put them back to bed. Sometimes they do that a couple times a night in the beginning, just kind of depends. But that is one way if you are wanting to nighttime potty trained. Um, Another question we had was, how do I get my kid to poop on the potty? Um, so like I said, for us, we started this pretty early on, and I noticed his signs. But you can also use this as the kid gets older. Like, I hear a lot of times someone will be like, "Oh, I know my kid, like a baby, when I put them in this jumper, they're pooping." Or as they're getting older, they're like, "Yeah, when my kid goes and hides in this specific corner, they're going to the bathroom." Or my kid will just kind of disappear or go hide. Um, so look for those signs that your kid is going to the bathroom, like he or she is pooping. Um, and then I just try, especially like those first couple days, to be really aware, to try not to keep myself too busy, but to be more focused on the kid so that as soon as I start to notice, oh, they're heading off to that corner, um, then I can take them potty. Or if needed, you can even get one of like the small potties. Let's say they have a specific corner to go to. Some kids even go under a table, but like you can put the potty there and kind of start that transition of maybe the potty is in their essentially their safe spot. Um, and so start letting them go there and then transition them to the big potty. So those are a couple of suggestions I would have for teaching your kid to poop on the potty. Another question I actually just got sent in. Um, it says some tips on traveling while potty training. And so, and then also about if the 3-day potty training doesn't work. And so, yeah, the 3-day potty training, like I said, like every kid is different. And I feel like when us as parents put that, oh, I have to have my kid potty trained in 3 days pressure on ourselves, we also project it onto our kids. And so we're stressed. We're like throwing the stress on our kids. Everyone's getting frustrated. Like, it's hard. Potty training in itself is hard, and so it's okay if it takes you longer than 3 days. If it takes them longer than 3 days, it's okay to take a couple weeks, a couple months. Like I said, we did it essentially over a course of a year. Um, and so just kind of, like, release that pressure. They say, your kid's eventually gonna be out of diapers, and, that's true for most kids. Um, um but yeah, just kind of release that pressure. There are some kids who are potty trained in 3 days, and that's great, but, you know, I would say majority of kids, it is going to take longer. Like, it's something new, it's something they have to learn. Think of, like, when they're walking. they don't learn to walk. Most kids don't learn to walk in 3 days. It takes weeks, some of them it takes months, and so it's the same thing with this. It's a learning process. Like, did you learn, your math course in 3 days? No. But yeah, so just give yourself grace there. And then also traveling while potty training. Um, I would say it really depends on what stage you're in. So, like, I remember with our oldest, we I think I was trying to take him out of diapers, but I think I had taken him out, and I told myself it was a trial run, and we had to drive. I think it was just, like, an hour or 2 away from our house. No, it was, like, 4 hours. My husband had a meeting, we went with him, and we were just, like, gonna go shop, and that's when I put him in the training pants, and our car seat our car seat cried. Um, he had so many accidents, it in that sense, it wasn't worth it. But what I did learn from that and with the other kids is so if you know you have a big trip coming up and you're able to just kind of wait, I suggest that. Um, but some other things I have done is depending on how long the trip is too. For us, it was always a car ride, but I would say to our kid, like, "Hey, you're doing really well with potty training, but this car ride is going to be a longer one. So what we're going to do is we're gonna put the pull-up on, but if you need to go potty, you let us know, and if we are able to stop and get you on the potty, then we will do that. This pull-up is just a backup. It is just in case we cannot get to the potty in time, but you still let me know when you need to go." And we would just reemphasize that, like, every time we put it on for the car ride. Um, we also kept a little potty in the car for a while. I actually need to put one back in the car, but we had the little potty. I've seen the ones that have, like, the bags. Definitely suggest those. We had one that was, like, almost a bowl, and so if you have one like that, one trick I learned it worked well with the boys, did not work as well with our girl, but we took an old, like, size 1, size 2 diapers that we had extras of and, like, laid it in the bowl so they could pee in that. I could roll it up, throw it away, easy, quick cleanup. Again, it was not quite that simple. There was a little more cleaning up with our girl, but other things we did for, like, some shorter trips, just, like, around town, is I would put the underwear on and the pull up over it. But again, I would talk through it. I say, "Hey, like, we're going on a trip. You're doing really well. This is just in case when we get there, we'll take it off. If you need to go potty, let me know." Um, and then I know a lot of kids like they get kind of scared of the automatic toilets while you're out. Like, I'm thinking like airport stores, and so you are able. At least I've seen people do it. I don't think I've tried it myself, but to, like, carry, Post-its around with you, and you can cover the sensor. That way it helps it not flush until, like, they're off the toilet. Um, Again, you can keep that one in the car, but also, be mindful of where you are and stay safe. They also make, the fold-up potties, so it's just like the top seat in a toddler size. You can fold it up pretty small, it comes in a bag, you put it in there, and you can, like, carry it around in your diaper bag. So that's another, like, helpful thing while you're traveling, to give them kind of that smaller seat that's a little more comfortable. But I'm trying to think of any other tips I have while traveling. Yeah, again, just using the pull-up and talking through it with them. And if they are later in the potty training, like, they're doing well, I know they have better control of their bladder, they're able to hold it if needed, then I would do the underwear. I do the underwear with the pull-up over it, and again, I just say, like, "This is a just in case we can't make it, you still let me know when you need to go," yada, yada, yada. And so I think that's all I had, let me double
Mhm.
check, but yeah, so if you guys still have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can message us on Instagram. You can send an email to us. And if you need that village, especially during this time, please do reach out to us. Like, we will be that village for you. We will be here to cheer you on, to encourage you, to help you during the hard times, and to celebrate the wins with you. And that's why we're here. We would love to connect with you all and just help be that village. But good luck. Potty training's hard. It is a season, and it does not have to happen right now. Like I keep saying, take that pressure off, let it happen, and just teach it. I love saying teach it in the most natural way you can. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If this episode resonated with you, we'd love for you to come hang out with us over on Instagram. You can find us at the.strong.and.steady. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time on Strong and Steady.